Hello and welcome to another episode of Top of the League podcast. As always, I'm joined in the studio with Gator.
What's up, man?
What's happening, Gator? It's a late night.
Yeah.
We're putting in a lot of hours in the podcast studio because we had a great special edition, didn't we?
Yeah, we got to meet the legendary Scout Cheeks.
Legendary,
She was everything and more that I expected.
Yeah. She really was. She was great, wasn't she?
Great to talk to. We actually didn't record in the studio. You know, she's a lady,
and she's a busy lady.
Yeah.
So making the trip out to our studio in Bethel Park on a Sunday didn't really work for her. And when sometimes you just have to say, yeah, we'll do whatever we can to get this going. So she came to us.
Yeah, we recorded in my living room, which was more fitting. You know, the basements are kind of like a dungy kind of guy feel. Yeah. You know, so
especially in your basement. Like, I'm just looking around, lots of like sports teams, and then obviously just kind of like, oh, what's behind that wall? Is it a closet? Is there some kind of sex slave locked up there? You never know. No, I'm just saying. So I'm glad we did it in the living room.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they often say, don't meet your heroes. You'll always be disappointed. Not in the least with Scout. No. Yeah. So what did you think of her? You liked her?
Yeah. I can't believe how cool she is. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I was hoping she was going to be fun and enjoyable, and she lived up to everything.
She really did. And once again, obviously, we had a nice conversation with her. A lot of it was on the podcast, but once again, this always seems to be the case. When people think they're not being recorded, it's always a little bit more free. I was talking about how we had read in the podcast studio, and it was like the 3 hours after we finished recording was like the fun time.
Yeah,
so
I think you got to get used to it.
You do, yeah.
Especially when we first started doing this. You know, obviously my energy was low, but I wasn't as forthcoming as I feel like I've become. So something you just become used to.
But I just get the impression like Scout is a driven woman. You know, and it's quite clear that, so this really driven woman in several aspects of her life is really good at one particular thing. Doesn't really surprise you, does it?
No. And, like, she kind of, like, made me feel like a lazy piece of shit. Like, normally I look at most people, and this might be arrogant, but I'm like, wow, they are just a lazy fuck.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, we talked to her about all the things she does, and she speaks 3 languages, and still great.
Scholarship off to Penn State. I wish we kind of got into that. So obviously, and that was that educational thing, I think she said.
Yeah.
So yeah, great girl. Obviously, we wish her nothing but the best. The thing I kind of take away from it most, obviously, she's really good at rugby.
Yeah.
And I think whatever she decides to throw her hand at, she's going to excel, and she's just one of those type of people. But I am disappointed just the lack of funding she receives. The fact that she's going out to represent or to try and represent her country and play for the Eagles, but yet she was kind of making out. Obviously, everyone should go out and listen to the 2 podcasts with her. But in a nutshell, the thing I took away from it most was she had to go out to Colorado on her own dollar and provide everything for herself, and then have the chance to represent her country.
Now imagine like if she wasn't as successful in her career or as talented, and you know, had the family that she has, you know, supports and everything.
Yeah,
like just imagine she's just the rugby talent, right?
Yep.
Like, she doesn't get to go to that because she can't fund it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly,
that's just asinine. Yeah. That's the other thing.
Yeah, so obviously you're kind of weeding out some of the best players you have. You know, you're throwing the bleach on the grass, but you're also killing the roses, you know. Yeah, great girl. We wish her nothing but the best.
Yeah.
Obviously, she did allude to the point that she missed 2 of Forge's biggest games, and it doesn't really come as a huge surprise. They were the 2 games they lost. Listen and subscribe. We're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, and thank you ever so much, Scout, for being on the podcast. Down to Rugby, Gator.
Yeah, so this coming weekend...
well, we're starting... Looking forward.
I think we should start with the women's college, and then we'll go into Saturday.
Because Scout is a woman, isn't she? Yeah, okay. I see what you're doing here.
Okay. Train of thought.
Yep,
go. So then we'll go into Saturday, because that was a Saturday full of rugby. We got the World Cup final.
Yep.
We got 3 great games.
And of course, Miller High Life.
Oh, yeah. Cheers. All right, so this coming weekend, the Enscrow Women's College 7 series is going to end. They're doing a round-robin tournament.
This is it. This is the climax.
Yeah, so who do you think you got? Like,
for me, I'm gonna have to say, with all my knowledge, St. Vincent.
Yeah, I mean they were, I think, tied for first.
Yeah, they had a great season. Yeah. Good foundation there. A lot of good athletes. But yeah, St. Vincent would be the team I would be backing going into this final week of fixtures.
So I'm not saying it's a wild card or anything, or like, you know, a dark horse. But I'm gonna go with Robert Morris.
Very nice.
I know Smarto.
Yeah.
she's been around rugby for a while. She knows how to train the young women.
Sure.
And I think they're going to pull it off. I think they're going to win it.
And obviously, we are Robert Morris fans.
Of course. I'm not biased at all.
No.
But
yeah, that would be my team. Yeah, so that's a great call. Obviously, St. Vincent, for me, will be leading the way. But yeah, I like your choice. Robert Morris certainly could do some work there.
So good luck to all those ladies. I'm sure it's a great tournament.
And this is the final day, so leave it all out there.
Smarta, if you could send us where that's at, if it's somewhere close, I might stop by.
Yeah.
So, sticking with college women, Pitt won this last weekend, clinching a playoff spot. They will host Michigan State November 16th for the first round of the D1 Fall Championship. So I'm hoping that's going to be a Founders Field, because if it is, I think I might make my way out.
Nice.
I've never seen, the only rugby I've seen for women's was the girls I played college with.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
That was a D3 level.
Yeah.
And nothing against that, but I'm assuming with a bigger school you have more talent to pull from, and probably a little more funds and coaching and stuff.
Gotcha, yeah.
So I'd love to go see that.
Slightly higher level, you're thinking, yeah.
Yeah. So that leads us to the rest of the weekend.
It was a busy week.
Such a busy week. Saturday, something called the World Cup happened?
Yeah, the Rugby World Cup. Obviously, when people are thinking of what's the biggest sporting event in the rugby every 4 years, most people say who's going to win the D3 Midwest Conference final. Few, niche audience, but some people say the Rugby World Cup.
Yeah.
It was off in Japan, and we have a new champion, South Africa.
Yeah.
Beat England.
And I think they're on a every 12-year cycle.
Okay.
This was their third time, and I think the last time they won was in 20. I don't even know the math, but
Yeah.
I saw their
2007 then.
and then 1995. Before
Okay,
that.
there you go.
Right, so I guess it's just every 4 years is a leap year. Every 12 years they win the
South Africa wins.
South
Brilliant,
Africa wins the World Cup.
Yeah.
But I was planning on waking up and going.
Yeah,
to
a
the
few of the
legendary-
lads had set up in the South Bits group, get in the game, 5 a.m. They did send out a quick little voting scheme. Watch it live, 5 a.m. Watch it at 7 a.m, slight delay. Watch it at 9 a.m, more of a delay.
Yeah.
Was I willing to get up at 5 a.m. to watch it when it was determined?
No, you're getting up at 5. You're getting up at 4.
I'm getting up
to the house
4,
at 5.
yeah. I obviously decided not to. You did think you would, though.
Yeah, so I ended up getting a phone call at 2:30 in the night. And like I said, I'm cutting back. I'm getting out of the chasing ladies game.
Sure, yeah.
So, when I was doing that, the call at 2:30, you answer that phone.
You wake up,
yeah. But I was
you got everything you need. You got your night bag sitting next to you in the bed. You're ready to roll.
Yeah.
When that call comes, kind of like the back call.
Yeah.
You're ready.
Yeah, instead of a bad signal, it's just a special ringtone.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I'm no longer like that, so I'm like, shit, something's wrong, right? So I answer, and it's actually my buddy who I went down to the weddings for. He's going through some emotional times. He's
He's just
still
got married, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm still half asleep, and I was like, I'm turning the phone off. I don't want to have, and then I just slept.
Yeah,
I
slept
didn't
through
care.
it.
But I was able to wake up in time to get to the college matches before Forest D2.
Excellent.
So
this was up in Philip Murray Playground where a lot of finals were basically being played. This was a lot of climax.
Oh yeah, this was the Challenge Cup.
Yep.
It was between Grove City College and Cal U, coached by Bill Marnell, friend of the pod.
Great friend of the pod.
Yeah. And so I got there a little bit late, and the score, it was a very tight game. So I think it was
This kicked off at 10 a.m, didn't it?
Yeah, so I left my house at 9:48. So within the first, however many minutes, people were doing some scoring, I guess.
Yeah.
So I get there, I don't know the score. A lot of the fans, I could tell, were college parents, so they didn't really know the game. So I'm asking everyone to score. No one's
giving you a solid
right?
answer.
Yeah, so I'm watching, and I think Cal U scored right before half, right? So it's still a tight game. And I decide, I'd take my dog to the game, and she likes to walk, so during halftime I was going to walk a lap, right? And I get close, and Isaiah Harris is there, right?
Okay, yeah.
ARU
Cal U,
Select,
yeah.
He's given this rousing halftime speech, and his voice, he's got a good voice, but he had it all deep, and I wanted to get out on the field and hit something.
He was really motivating the crowd.
He referred to them as gentlemen, and I was like, oh shit, this kid's 21, 20 years old, and he's able to talk like this. So Cal U came out, and they were able to finish out the win. And what I also noticed was Brandon Fitzioris, he was a select side too. He made it to the east side select or whatever.
Okay.
All right, so he's a really good rugby player. So when we met him...
He's a Cal U player.
Yeah, so when we met him, when he was trying out for the ARU, I'm pretty sure he was trying out at flanker.
Okay.
So when we went to the Ohio trip, we didn't have enough backs, so he decided to play inside. They moved him to inside center, and I moved to outside center.
Right.
That's how we rolled. And, he did really well, got as an Eastern,
Yep,
Midwest.
made the next step up, yep.
So this next year, I'm guessing this is his senior year at Cal, they have him at fly half. And,
Okay, so versatile.
Yeah, so my thing with him was, he hit hard. He popped me once in, one of those, scrimmages. I was like, oh, shit.
You felt it?
Yeah, I felt it, right? And, he was a great runner. And if I had any knock, and I still think you're a great player, man. If I had one knock on you, I thought your passing wasn't the sharpest. I had some hurt ribs a little after that game, I thought.
Okay.
But he's worked on that amazing.
Brilliant.
He's not only just their center now, he's their fly half. And I thought he was the best passer on the field.
Excellent.
Of both teams.
And that's fantastic, isn't it? So it's clearly one guy, maybe you didn't tell him in person, he's hearing it from the pod, but he clearly identified, I have a weakness in my game.
Yeah,
and in the 6 months or however long it's been that you haven't seen him, he's improved that.
Yeah, and
fantastic.
And I don't even... Like I said, he tried out as a flanker, so it's not like that's the position known for their ball handling skills.
Yeah.
And he went from, a flanker, to, the most important, distributing position in the
game, yeah.
And, so I want to give a shout-out to him.
Brilliant.
I thought he played
that was
well.
your Miller High Life.
Yeah.
Miller Highlight. It's such a weird twister, it is. But yeah, so he was your standout player
I
there,
thought
just
he
in his
played really
development.
well.
Nice.
Yeah.
And obviously Cal U came away with the victory there.
Yeah, and oh boy, they were pumped. Out of the 3 teams that won, I think they got the loudest.
Nice.
There was some guy on the sideline screaming. He seemed like he was screaming knowledgeable stuff.
Okay.
But I couldn't take him seriously because he wasn't a player. I mean, he might have been a dad or something. But his voice kept cracking like Peter Brady,
Ooh,
But
embarrassing.
It's because it lost all credibility. Because he might be saying
hello, boys.
The most profound stuff. I was like, come on, man.
Oof.
But So then the second game was between Franciscan and
our
favorite,
boys, Robert Morris. Yeah, give me some good news here. Come on,
so
fingers crossed.
I'm gonna lead you through this because not everyone knows.
You tease.
I'm a tease.
You've
right?
changed Gaelic. Ooh, you're a tease.
Usually, okay, we'll talk about that.
Usually,
too.
you gave it to me straight in my face. Didn't even ask for permission, just gave it to me, and now you're teasing it out.
Franciscan opened the game with sustained pressure in Robert Morris's end. A forward, I couldn't tell what number, broke the line and offloaded it to number 8 for the score. Now, their number 8 wasn't their 8-man.
Ooh,
so I'm pretty sure it was a flanker.
Okay.
But so their 8-man wore number 23. Right? So, Robert Morris, they're a resilient bunch. They were on a mission.
Of course.
They, they kicked the ball off. They got the ball. They're deep down in Franciscan zone. They're doing really well. There was a controversial call, did he knock the ball in the end zone? Did he put it down? From where I was sitting, looked like he got the ball down. Should have been a tie the game up 5-5, but the ref said he knocked it on 5-meter scrum. But Robert Morris wasn't deterred. They got the ball back, right?
Nice.
And it looks like they're going to tie it up. And oh boy. So the Barons were able to steal the ball. It was right out of a Gator in Michigan,
Yeah.
Stole the ball, a great run. They're running, and Robert Morris's back 3. They were making open field tackles all day.
Nice.
The Barons kept breaking the line, and they were doing it. But the only problem was, as these players are making these great open low tackles, they're offloading the ball.
Yeah, they had numbers, they had good support, So
Yeah.
even though the open field tackle was coming, heroic, they always had another option.
Yep. So after one of these great long runs with spectacular offloads, the Franciscans scored but missed the conversion, making it 12-0. Scary moment about the 20-minute mark where Robert Morris, flanker, went down. He was on his back for several minutes, and we couldn't really tell what the injury was. I was getting concerned because normally, if you're on the ground that long, that's pretty serious. But he was able to be helped off the field. It looked like something with his leg. At this time, a substitution was made for the Franciscan, and it was a blood sub. I didn't know this, but I guess shortly into the game, their fullback got a cut on his hand.
Okay.
It was bleeding. At this point, this was controversial. So the fullback goes back into the game. Some random dude think he was a supporter of Robert Morris, was screaming, like, you're not allowed to send him off. He already came off, and there was blood.
Okay.
And I was like, you know me, I like this stuff. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
you were feeding it.
I'm feeding. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
like, let's see some stuff. But I died down, so I was there. But like maybe 5-10 minutes later,